2NURFM News for our sponsor, Cartier Jewellery. Always unique, always quality. Toronto Town Square.
Good afternoon, I'm Georgia Moylan with 2NURFM Hunter News. Light rail supporters are today urging the community to put Newcastle first as the Save Our Rail group seeks a court injunction to stop the state government cutting the inner-city rail line on Boxing Day. The group president, Joan Dawson, has travelled to Sydney today to file papers with the Supreme Court in hope of having the application heard early next week. But Hunter Chair of the Property Council Australia, Ed Crawford, says the move wouldn't be in Newcastle's interests.
Light rail really puts transport right into the middle of activity zones. The new university campus, the law courts building, the 200 or 300 new apartments. In terms of activity and actually getting people onto public transport, having public transport almost literally at the door of those facilities is so important.
It seems the Hunter's job crisis has taken a turn for the worse following the release of figures on the region's latest unemployment rates. The numbers point to a staggering 8% jump in the jobless rate across Newcastle and Lake Macquarie over the past month, with unemployment now sitting at 8.7%. Shadow Minister for the Hunter, Sonia Hornery, says the government can mitigate the effects by investing in education.
When we have 28,700 people looking for work in the Hunter, and at the same time the Liberal government has ripped $1.7 billion from education and training, things aren't going to get brighter next year unless the state government decides to create jobs, employing more teachers at Hunter TAFE, state employees that give creation to apprenticeship schemes.
The New South Wales Environmental Protection Authority has recently conducted a compliance audit of coal loading and unloading facilities in Hunter mines. Across the 15 sites inspected, the audit found 26 non-compliances needing to be improved to minimise potentially dangerous emissions. The EPA Chief Environmental Regulator, Mark Gifford, says the issues have been since addressed.
In general, we found some non-compliances, and each of those non-compliances are now they've either been addressed since the audits were undertaken, or they're being actively followed up by the licensees with oversight from the EPA. And we also found some good practices as well.
A major dredging project is underway along Swansea Channel in a bid to make the area more tourist-friendly over the summer months. Swansea MP Gary Edwards is the first to secure a substantial dredging project for the channel, which has been on the cards for many years. Edwards says the local community is glad something was finally done.
It's been raised as an issue for as long as I've been in the area, but it came to my attention when I first came to the area, which is 20 odd years ago. So people have been calling for this for a long, long time, and it's been promised time and time again, but never eventuated. But now we're actually seeing it.
The new Hunter Valley Way tourist drive was launched yesterday in Kurri Kurri. The project began development in 2010 and is a collaboration from people in the Hunter, showing tourists a range of activities in the area as well as interest points such as caravan parks along the way. Cessnock Mayor Bob Pinsent says the areas will benefit from the exposure.
It opens those areas up to far more tourists and make more people aware of the beauty that we possess in this area. One of our aims is to increase visitation across the Cessnock local government area.
The Hunters Westpac Rescue Helicopter Service will be opening new bases in Newcastle and Lismore after gaining the contract for the whole northern New South Wales. The service is humbled by the support they receive by sponsors and the wider community, which has allowed them to assist more people than ever before. The chairman of Moylan's support group, Peter Brereton, says the growth was needed.
It's a service that's in great need. I know in the past few months there's been something like 50 or 60 rescues per month, so the service is well and truly needed. And of course the volunteer groups around the areas are ones that help to provide financing for the extras that are needed.
In finance, the All Ords is up 105.5 points at 52 to 95, and $1 Australian is buying 81.28 US cents. Now with sport, Belinda De La Shares.
The Newcastle Jets have conceded they'll have to rummage their bag of tricks if the side is any chance of stealing its first season win against Adelaide United tonight. Rookie midfielder Alan Welsh is tipped to fill central defence for suspended captain Q Yarleens. Winger James Virgili, who's been out of action since the Jets' round 6 loss to Brisbane, has also been named. The boys will need to claim victory to give themselves a shot at the playoffs and avoid becoming just the second team in A-League history to be winless at Christmas. The Knights have been forced to delay talks to retain the Matautia brothers beyond 2015 until after Christmas, as the boys commenced legal proceedings to cut ties with manager Chris Haddad. The three have signed letters of intent to join Canterbury on 4-year deals from 2016, giving Newcastle just 6 months to match or better the terms. And Newcastle golfer Nathan Green is set to try his hand at coaching following a decade stateside on the US PGA Tour. That's Sport, I'm Belinda de las Heras.
2NURFM news time is 1:05.